Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. We'll get started in just a moment. Everyone, thanks for joining. We'll get started in a couple seconds. Just waiting for a few more folks to trickle in. Okay, let's get started. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight. My name is Lauren Wan. I'm the Climate Programs and Operations Manager at the Business Council on Climate Change, also known as BC3. We'll be recording today's webinar and sending it in a follow-up email. And then if you have any questions throughout this webinar, feel free to put them in the chat or the Q&A box, which you can find below. So we'll start off with an intro for Bay Area SunShares. Bay Area SunShares is a solar and storage discount program. What we do at the Business Council on Climate Change is pool the buying power of all 9 Bay Area counties to negotiate reduced prices for a limited time campaign every fall. So the goal of this program is to make clean energy more accessible and affordable, and also make the Bay Area more sustainable and resilient as a whole. Now, we're really trying to accelerate clean energy adoption across the Bay Area. All residents of the Bay Area's 9 counties are eligible to participate in this program. And then our discount season is open now until November 15th. Just a little background on SunShares. We've been a program of the Bay Area since 2012. So we started as a solarized program and then moved to the city of San Jose. And now we're with the Business Council on Climate Change. So BC3 has been running the program since 2016. And in that time, we've installed over 5 megawatts of solar and over 200 plus battery storage units in the Bay Area. So we've helped a lot of people through this process and are always excited to be continuing providing this service across the Bay Area this fall. So discounts are open now for rooftop solar and battery storage until November 15th. And in order to claim that discount, you would visit our website and fill out the form. In that form, you can select which installers you want to contact you about creating a customized proposal. You can also select to get connected with QuitCarbon. And in that time, you'll get to get connected with the pre-vetted installers, and then you have time to review the installer proposals. If you decide to go solar, sign your contract before November 15th, and then that will lock in that discounted pricing that you saw on your proposal. And then if you've already signed up, please be on the lookout for calls or any emails from our installers. They'll be reaching out to you. And I'll actually share the link to sign up for SunShares in the chat right now. I'll also include that in the follow-up email. So if you don't get to it today, you can always get to it another time. So before I pass it to our guest speaker, I'd like to share that one important piece of solar is electrification. So if you're generating clean energy from the sun, you should use that electricity to power your at-home appliances like your stove or your water heater. You really are getting the most out of your clean energy system by improving your energy efficiency, which will reduce your consumption, and also switching to electric appliances and electrifying your transportation. So with energy efficient, electrified appliances and vehicles, you'll reduce your consumption and need for gas, and then you'll get even more value out of your solar system. So if you're planning on installing solar, or you have plans to electrify your house, work with an installer to size your system to accommodate your future energy plan. So with that said, I'd like to introduce our speaker for the day. Today we have with us Cooper Marcus, who is the Chief Quitter and CEO at QuitCarbon. QuitCarbon is a San Francisco-based social enterprise that provides free expert guidance on heat pumps, mini splits, heat water heat pumps, induction cooking, EV chargers. They also help homeowners with their plan to start their clean energy journey, and that includes maximizing their rebates and savings, and they also help with connecting you to local contractors. I'm sure Cooper can get you a better spiel on that, but thank you so much, Cooper, for joining.
Well, thanks for having us, Lauren. And let's see, here we go. I've probably got a few too many slides for the short time we have available, but I want to highlight for everyone that my colleague Adam, one of the clean energy coaches here at QuitCarbon, is helping me out in the Q&A and chat, and we're happy for your questions at any time. Plus, even after this presentation, QuitCarbon is a partner of SunShares. Many of you have enrolled in QuitCarbon as you enrolled in SunShares. If you haven't, you'll be getting a link to benefit from QuitCarbon's free expert award-winning advice. And we want to help you get more from your solar panels. Let's talk about how. So, why should homes be electric? Why is solar plus heat pumps, plus electric homes like chocolate and peanut butter better together? And how can we help? We're going to cover all that in 20 minutes here and have time for some questions. So part of the direction we're coming at this is from the climate perspective. And really, our homes are part of the climate problem. This chart's from San Francisco, but it applies pretty similarly all over the Bay Area. Buildings are a major source of climate impact. Folks tend to think about things like electricity as being a source of climate, but it's really not so much. You can see that tiny 3% slice. A lot of it's coming from natural gas in our homes, and that's really coming from our water heaters and our furnaces. We may touch our stoves and dryers much more often, but our water heaters and our furnaces produce the vast majority of climate impact, of fossil fuel combustion, and of course, the impact on our utility bills. Now, moving those appliances off of gas and onto electricity, hopefully the electricity that you're making with your SunShares solar panels, is not just good for you and your planet, it's also good for your family and your community. Gas stoves are a source of indoor air pollution, and they increase the risk of poor health impacts like cardiovascular disease. Gas appliances in homes and buildings, they're generating more NOx pollution, nitrogen oxide pollution, than all of our cars. Our cars have gotten pretty darn clean. Our homes, not so much. And our power plants have gotten clean. Now, I know you're getting solar, and at least some of your power is not going to be coming from a power plant anymore, but some of it is. Amazingly, those power plants are now pretty clean. It's the gas appliances in our homes that are producing the air pollution. So what do we do about that? Well, we're going to electrify everything, right? We are on a journey together to a sustainable future where the wind and sun, especially the sun falling on your roof, are powering all of our energy needs. And this is going to bring us savings, economic savings, cleaner air, cleaner water, healthier people, and a stronger local economy. I think those are things we could all agree we want. So, energy from fossil fuels generates a lot of household pollution. It comes from electricity, from your furnace, from your water heater, from your car. But when you switch to solar electricity and electric appliances like heat pumps, those pollution burdens go to zero. Plus, there's savings, right? As you switch from gas appliances and electricity from the grid to solar electricity and electric appliances, you get both pollution savings and economic savings. So how are we going to electrify? Well, we're going to get cleaner electricity by getting solar. We're going to electrify our home by switching our appliances off of gas and onto that electricity that we're now making. Sooner or later, we're going to get an electric vehicle, I hope, or maybe an electric bike. And of course, you're going to tell your friends and neighbors, tell them about SunShares and QuitCarbon, and help electrify everyone. So let's back up a second. What does electrification mean again? All right, the two things in pink, batteries and solar panels, we got that, right? SunShares helping you get those. We're mostly here at QuitCarbon helping you with those pink arrows, your clothes dryer and your water heater and your heating and cooling and maybe your EV charger. And how about an awesome induction stove? It means switching your gas furnace to a heat pump. It means upgrading your old-fashioned gas water heater to a heat pump water heater. And Bernie's really going to be happy about that. It means going from that gas stove that produces unhealthy levels of indoor air pollution to a beautiful, smooth-top induction stove that's better to cook on and faster to clean. It also means, hey, how about a heat pump clothes dryer? How about that big black thing in the middle? That's a heat pump pool heater, or maybe a heat pump spa heater. Of course, an electric vehicle charger. And what about a super realistic electric fireplace? They're incredible. Your whole home can go off of gas and onto electricity. And that electricity is, of course, coming from your solar panels and your batteries. But I just want to check in on one little thing here. When we talk about decarbonizing, electrifying, is that a thing for solar and batteries? Yes and no. If we keep all those gas appliances in our home and we get those beautiful solar panels on our roof, we are producing just as much climate pollution. We are paying just as much on our gas bill. Getting solar panels by itself gets us partway there. And then as you move your appliances from gas to electric, you get the rest of the way there. And that big chunk of climate impact, of local air pollution impact, and an impact on your bill, that big chunk that's natural gas right there, that goes away and gets powered by the sun and the wind. So solar electricity is remarkable. It is predictably cheap. Not only is solar much cheaper, the electricity much cheaper than buying electricity from PG&E, but it's also predictable. I don't know if you've noticed in past years, but electricity prices on our bills have gone up fast. Solar electricity is prepaid. You know exactly how much it's going to cost for the next 2 decades. There's a lot of good feeling you get knowing that it's predictable. When you add batteries, you get resilience, right? Power outage, I didn't even notice. I had my batteries. And you also get climate benefits because now you can use your solar generated electricity super clean at night, when otherwise you would be using electricity that might be generated by a fossil fuel power plant. And then, of course, as you switch your household appliances to heat pumps and induction cooking and EV charging, it really helps you and your community, which includes the whole darn planet, get the most from your solar investment, right? You've invested in solar. You want those environmental benefits. You want the economic benefits. But if you're still burning gas in your closet, you're not getting them until you switch those appliances. How do you do that? Well, we're here to help, right? Let's introduce QuitCarbon real quick. We're here because we tried to do this ourselves in our homes. And we talked to friends and neighbors, and they tried, and it just was so hard. What even is a heat pump, and which contractor do I work with, and which direction do I go? And what about all these rebates? They seem like interesting but complicated. They are. We wanted something better, somebody that would help, that wasn't going to sell us something, that was there to just help us navigate the process. That's QuitCarbon. We started, nearly 3 years ago, and we're now helping over 5,000 homeowners across California. They love our free expert advice. Along the way, we've become certified again and again. Earlier this year, we became the first organization of our type in the country to earn Energy Star certification. You've seen that blue logo on computer monitors and washing machines. We have that blue logo because the US EPA recognized us for our unique value that we brought in helping people navigate this process. We became a public benefit corporation earlier this year, and just a few days ago, we became a certified B Corporation, demonstrating our commitment to investing in our employees and our community for the benefit of everyone. So what even is QuitCarbon? Well, let's go through it real quick. We're going to do a quick assessment of your home. We're going to optimize that plan for getting it off of fossil fuels, and we'll help you with the upgrades. First, you're going to tell us a bit about your home. This is all remote, so we're not coming to your home. It's on our website, but also it's live with our advisors. You might talk to me. You might talk to Adam. We're going to tell us about your appliances, your utility usage. You're going to tell us about that awesome solar system you're getting through SunShares. We're then going to develop an optimized plan for you, a roadmap, and we're going to keep it up to date. So you can understand, well, this upgrade might cost this, but that rebate's going away soon. So maybe I should get my heat pump water heater sooner because that's going to be the best option for my home. And then when the time is right for you to actually make one of these upgrades, we can get you connected with a local contractor and make sure that the bid you've received is a good price for the right scope of work. So we've got that free expert advice. We're maximizing those savings. We're helping you get to that point of project complete, right? Upgrade made. Want to touch on one more thing before we open up here for some questions. I guess I've gone even faster than I thought I would. We often get the concern that people think that they should use up their gas appliances, right? Oh, my thing's still working, right? My gas water heater, it's still working. I want to share a couple of ways of thinking about that that will hopefully bring you around to the idea of retiring them seemingly early. Now, this has been a very hard thing for me personally to get my head wrapped around. I grew up in a house with my mom. She grew up in the war in England, a time of very little resources. Everything got used up. And she taught my sister and I use everything to the very end. Well, I've, kept that mindset. It was hard for me to imagine, wait a sec, you're telling me I should get rid of my gas appliances even though they seem to be working? Yes, actually, you should. First of all, they're going to get recycled. So there's no waste. Nothing goes to the landfill. They get melted down and turned into heat pumps. Second of all, the appliances you have, though they're working, they're causing harm. They're causing an increasing impact on your utility bills. They're producing that dangerous pollution that's affecting you and your neighbors and your friends and your community and your planet. They're not actually working great. Maybe they did 20, 30 years ago when we didn't have choices, but now we have great choices. Homes powered with electric appliances like heat pumps are more comfortable, they're safer, they're more valuable. Why don't you switch right now and get all those benefits sooner? We present some more analysis on our website about why it's helpful to think about getting rid of your gas appliances before their end of life. One more reason is if you wait till they've really failed, they're typically going to fail at the worst possible time. Somehow they know that you've got guests coming over to stay for the weekend, and right before that time, they fail and leave you with cold showers or a cold home. So that's a bit about us, about QuitCarbon, about how we help, and about why powering your home with your solar panels and using that power in your home with your new heat pump water heater, your heat pump heating and cooling, your induction stove and EV charger, why this is a better route forward for the future and how we can help you get there. We hope you'll join us in this journey. We hope you'll allow us to give you an assistance along the way. I think I mentioned before that our service is free, it's easy, it's no obligation. And in some cases, we've helped homeowners save so much money in rebates and incentives that the replacement of these appliances is either free or much cheaper than replacing them with gas. Keep in mind, sooner or later, you need new appliances. They don't last forever. They wear out. We hope you'll replace them before they do. But even if you wait that long, wouldn't you want a hand ensuring that you get a good price with all the right rebates for the right scope of work? We think you would, and that's what we offer. So let's open it up for some questions. And how about I turn off the screen share there? Okay. So I see some Adam's answering some questions here. So I see one of the questions here is being asked about a financial ask for replacing working appliances. So I want to sort of touch on that. So when we're talking about appliances in your home and replacing them or upgrading them, first of all, appliances give you services. A hot water heater is going to give you about the same hot water, whether it's electric heat pump or gas. But a heat pump that heats and cools your home is typically makes your home more comfortable. It's not just heating and cooling. It's not just the bare minimum. It's actually something that improves your quality of life, brings you comfort benefits in your home, makes your home more valuable. So are you choosing to make that investment? It's up to you, just like you can choose whether or not you want to invest in solar. But keep in mind that making these investments can bring you benefits well beyond just the good feelings of burning less fossil fuel. They can also bring you economic benefits. Our projections suggest, and this is from the California Public Utilities Commission, that the cost of gas will rise far faster than the cost of electricity in the coming years. We've actually started to see this already. Not sure if you knew, but the price that you pay for gas on your utility bill is partially a function of the price of gas, like what's it cost to, drill the gas, get it out of the ground, bring it to your home. But a lot of the cost is payment for servicing all the gas pipes in the ground. As fewer and fewer people use gas as people leave the gas network, which they're already starting to do because they're realizing, wait a sec, I can make my own electricity with solar panels and I could use it at home with heat pumps. I'm just going to get off of gas. By the way, there's a $5,000 rebate for getting off of gas. As people leave the gas network, the remaining people on the network are paying more and more each year. PG&E just announced that for the first time ever, they want to raise rates because people are leaving the gas network. That's the start of that, and it will keep going. So many great reasons to think about moving from gas appliances to electric. Let's see some other questions here. Heard clean energy people say that the Bay Area won't have an issue with electrifying because everyone that lives here is rich. No, that's certainly not our position. There's lots of great incentives for everybody to electrify. About to launch are some really rich incentives for low and moderate income people to electrify. There's also many opportunities to do it yourself. You don't have to work with a contractor. If you're skilled or you have a skilled handyman, you can put in a handy person, you could put in a heat pump water heater in your home yourself. And doing so is just barely more expensive up front than a gas water heater, and then saves you money over time, especially if you have solar. So the attendees asking that rebates don't cover the cost, the entire costs. In some cases, that's true. In other cases, it's not. Rebates change a lot over time, and they vary a lot from house to house. Also, the scope of work can vary a lot. We've seen a lot of folks come to QuitCarbon with a bid from a contractor, and when we analyze their home and look at the bid, what we see is that the bid is for too much work, too large of a project, too much electrical work, too big of a heat pump. We help folks right-size those projects. And when you right-size them, they can get a lot cheaper and it can help with the costs of maintaining your home. Let's see some other questions here. Adam, are there any you want to highlight, or Lauren or Mara? Let's see. I see somebody asking that, going electric is better for the environment. It does not assume that you have solar. So the environmental benefits of avoiding burning gas, those benefits are there regardless of how you get your electricity. Luckily, here in California, our electricity is really clean, and many of us have already opted into 100% clean electricity. So the electricity that's used to power your appliances is clean, and the result of switching them from gas to electricity are dramatic and lasting reductions in the carbon pollution and the methane pollution and NOx pollution. So there's no doubt you don't have to have solar to get the climate benefits. So go ahead, Adam. Did you have something to highlight for me? I see some more questions in the chat.
I responded to that one about solar and environmental benefits. There's one here about recirculation pumps that I can probably answer faster than typing.
Yeah,
so
great.
some people like recirculation pumps because it means that you have instant hot water at your taps. That's great. Actually, by code in California, though, now you are not allowed to have continuous ones. So some homes have ones that constantly recirculate hot water throughout your home. They're great for saving water. They are terrible for energy use, and that's why they're not allowed. So, and they also don't work well with heat pump water heaters, like you said, because they stir up the tank and decrease the efficiency. But there's a good solution, which is an on-demand recirculation pump, which can even be retrofitted to an existing house. So it just means you have a little push button in the bathroom when you're getting ready for the shower. You push the button. By the time you're in the shower, the hot water has been pulled all the way up to the shower. It means it doesn't have to recirculate it constantly, but you still get that benefit of instant hot water.
Great. Thanks, Adam. I see a question about upgrading the electrical infrastructure to support electric appliances in your home. You know, in the olden days, like 5 years ago, that was more common, but technology evolves pretty quickly. Here at QuitCarbon, we stay on top of all those new technologies, and some recent innovations have included a water heater, a heat pump water heater that plugs into a regular outlet. It's incredible. It plugs into the same outlet that your tea kettle would plug into, but it produces enough hot water for your whole home. I have one of these in my garage at my home. I have a family of 4, and we get plenty of hot water from it. Plugs into a regular outlet. These are the sort of innovations that are allowing us to not have to upgrade our electrical service before we get electric appliances. And this is one of the places that QuitCarbon often helps our clients save money. We hear from clients who've been told by an electrician, step one, spend a bunch of money on new wires. And we find a route forward that doesn't involve that. You can get that route forward from us without even talking to us if you want. You fill out your little QuitCarbon profile, and we'll generate that roadmap for your home that guides you on the process that helps you avoid many of those electrical upgrades. I see a question asking, don't these 120-volt water heaters require their own dedicated 120-volt circuit? Nope. You can share that circuit with other loads. It works fine. Let's see some other questions here in the chat. Let's see. Blair is saying, I'm only interested in home appliance upgrades. You're not allowing this interest option. You want the help and with appliances and heat pumps. Well, we'd love to give you a hand. Come on over to QuitCarbon, click the pink button. Let's get started. And we'll give you a hand. You'll tell us a bit about your home, and we'll teach you a bit about how to electrify it. I see somebody asking if QuitCarbon gets permits. To be clear, QuitCarbon is not a contractor. We don't sell you anything. We don't do the work. So we don't get permits. But the contractors that we refer you to, they will get permits. It's the contractor's job to deal with the permitting. And it's strongly recommended to do this work permitted. Though another attendee asked, wait a sec, are you saying that some of this work could be done yourself? Yes, actually it can. A plug-in 120-volt heat pump water heater is a plausible job for a skilled do-it-yourselfer. But how about one of these plug-in induction cooktops? You could buy it at IKEA. It costs $60. You bring it home, plug it in, and look at that. You're cooking with induction for $60. Yes, you can do that yourself.
Cooper, I wanted to flag there's a couple in the actual Zoom chat. Specifically, we had a question about energy usage being low monthly. Is it worth it to go solar, which costs a fortune? That seems like a solar question, so we could take that offline, but if you want to answer it, you're welcome to.
Sure, right. I mean, the answer to that is you're going to use more electricity when you switch your gas appliances to electric. I mean, that's part of the point, right? We're helping you quit carbon, like it says on the box, right? We want you to move off of fossil fuel and onto electricity. Then you'll be using more electricity, and you'll have more reason and more benefit from making your own electricity with solar.
Great. And then there was an additional question in the chat. Is there an induction stove at a reasonable price, hoping not to spend thousands?
Sure. Yeah. There's really two directions to go with induction. So one direction is to buy a regular induction stove. They can be had sometimes for less than $1,000, around the same price as a low-end gas stove. It doesn't have to be premium priced. But like many appliances, you can spend a lot if you want. I mean, you can get a gas stove that costs $6,000. You can also get an induction stove that costs $6,000. So it's kind of up to how fancy you want to go. Induction stoves used to require a big electric circuit to your kitchen. And if your kitchen has a gas stove, it probably doesn't have that electric circuit. But wait, innovation to the rescue. There's a new type of induction stove that plugs into a regular outlet. It's a full-size stove, and it plugs into that same outlet that your tea kettle plugs into, like that water heater, right? You get this trend of lower power appliances. This is part of why electrification is becoming ever more feasible, because they have lower power requirements. QuitCarbon can help you decide whether it's a better route to get that regular induction stove with a bigger circuit, or to get the plug-in induction stove, which costs a bit more, but saves you the cost of the circuit. There are trade-offs. We'll help you evaluate them and decide. I see a question asking about how are we calculating the future electric need of electrifying a home. That's part of the math we do. It's tricky, but we've got a system that helps us predict how much electricity your home will need in the future when it's moved off of fossil fuel. We're happy to share that with you and your solar partners so that you can plan to have a solar system that's going to satisfy your future needs. Let's see. Any other questions you'd like to highlight? Adam, was there anything you came across that said that you wanted to bring up for us? You're always welcome, of course, to come on over to QuitCarbon in the future and ask questions. We hope to see you there and allow us to answer your questions. Lauren and Mara, do you have the QuitCarbon the special sign up link for signing up.
Yes, I can drop that in the chat.
And
Great. So
I know we're at time, but I did see one more, and I'm sorry if I missed that we answered this. Did we answer Rick's question about upgrading? I assume the electric panel is what he means in order to install electric appliances. Did we talk on that?
a little bit, it's often not needed. Sometimes it is, but often it's not. Sometimes what's needed is a sub panel. You can keep your big panel and add a little one next to it. It's amazing. We're very good at figuring out these cost optimized approaches that are permitted, that are allowed, approved by electricians, but maybe a little more, I don't know, creative. The short answer is no. For most homes, most of the time, major electrical upgrades are not necessary.
Great. Thank you. And for anyone who didn't notice, you can check the written answers. There were a few questions that were only answered in writing in the answered questions section under Q&A. We will send out the recording as well if anyone missed anything that happened quickly. Looks like we have one more in the chat here. If we have time, for heat pumps, can they be installed inside or are they exterior?
Yeah, great question. There are some heat pumps that are mostly inside your home, and there's just two little vents that go outside. Other types of heat pumps are split. There's something inside your home that's producing hot and cool air, and a compressor or condenser that's outside your home. If you have central air conditioning, you've seen these compressors outside homes. They look the same or very similar for heat pumps. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, including some you've never heard of. How about a heat pump inside your home that has a TV screen on the front of it? Or how about a heat pump inside your home that you cannot see or hear at all? They exist. We'd love to help you navigate those. So, Steve asked if we deal with companies that install heat pumps and solar. There's very few companies so far that do both. Very few. We know of some. Often, though, working with specialists can be more effective. SunShares brings you a couple of great solar contractors. We know some terrific heat pump contractors, heat pump water heater contractors, electricians, and others. Working with the right partners to get this work done in your home is part of what we help you navigate. Lauren, Mara, should we do more live, or should we end our conversation and do a few more chats before we, what's your choice?
Yeah, it looks like you have just one more in the Q&A, and maybe you can just finish with this one.
Let's see, which one's there? What's there?
I can take that one. Heat pump water heater in an enclosed inside cabinet. It really depends. If that cabinet is in a garage or basement, yes, then it can easily be, have louvers or just the door taken off. It does need airflow around it. Some indoor locations, you can duct it to the outside. There's a little bit of sound they make, so you're going to want to be sensitive about where in the house that is. But that's something we can help you evaluate, what's going to be appropriate in that location. We're also keeping our eye out for technology innovations here. If there's not something that works great for you today, if you do your home profile, we know kind of the constraints and needs of your home and can keep you updated on things that come, into the market in the future.
And maybe we close with that thought, right? This is a journey. No one's asking you to do all these things at once. You've owned your home perhaps for years. You'll own it perhaps for decades to come. All along the way, you'll make adjustments and changes and improvements. We're here to help you make those changes, moving off of fossil fuels, moving on to electricity, ending up with a home that's more comfortable and safer and more valuable and more affordable. But the pace of change is really up to you. And you're probably not going to do all these things at once. That kind of would be too much, right? So let's help you along the journey. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to be a terrific time coming out at the end, turning on that shower in the morning, showering with that hot water that came from the solar electricity on your roof and the heat pump in your closet. It feels so good, and we want to help you get that good feeling.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Cooper. I'm going to drop one more link in the chat. You can sign up for both SunShares and QuitCarbon at this link. And we'll also share everything that we talked about along with the slides. So if you want to save the SunShares slides and the QuitCarbon slides, we'll also include that in the follow-up email. But thank you so much, everyone, for attending.
Fantastic. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Mara.
Of course. Thank you.